Do you want to check out the fish room? Yeah, like everything in here, like everything in all the tanks. Yeah, and all the bits and pieces and stuff. Yeah, well, shh, be quiet. Can't show everybody. Well, there's a couple things that I've got to change. So if I can show you them now, it won't matter. You won't miss out. But I've got to change them real soon. So this is your last chance. So apologies if this is a little bit shaky. I don't have a gimbal for this camera, but it's way better than a phone. I sort of thought we'd just go around the whole room. So for those that don't know, my fish room is in the garage, and I sort of need the garage for garagey things like paints and tools and stuff that I don't know how to use properly, but I try. It's also an area where I like to hang out and catch up with neighbors, just chill out, watch the kids play because we're out the front of the house, and let them all do their thing. But usually we'll have some sport on, or we'll be watching something over here. At the moment we've got the replay of the Aqua Mate Experience episode 22, which is with Alex from The Secret History, Living in Your Aquarium. Had a lot of fun with Alex, some crazy stories. So check that out if you haven't seen it. I love things with lights. It makes for a really cool background for the channel, but you can see I sort of collect a couple things like that. Sort of give it a bit of a man cave fish room vibe. Now, that would be boring without any music, hey? So I've got some Google speakers in here just to have a bit of fun later at night, or listen to some cool tunes when aquascaping. So this here is a tank that I set up only a couple days ago and released a video about it yesterday, but I had to redo it. I had algae blooms, I had bacteria blooms. It was turning into a massive mess. I think I just did everything too quickly. That's probably my advice on that one. I used Amazonia Light thinking that it would be shrimp safe and ready straight away, but it definitely wasn't. So this is take 2, and we're proceeding with a little bit more caution this time. So there's nothing living in there yet, but can't wait to get this plant wrapped around the wood. I can't remember the name of the plant. The girl at Fish and Feather was amazing. Gave me the idea while we were there. We both thought it would look really cool, and I forgot to take a photo or make a mental note of the plant name. So let me know the name of the plant if you know what that is. My wife just came home, made lots of noise. So we have the stacking zone, which I smashed up with a hammer, put it in a bag and some bubble wrap, and it was one piece, but now you can see it's at least 1,000 pieces, and I've got a few more now for another scape. 2 bits of cereal stone, and then just some driftwood with some hair grass at the back. So I've also put a little bit of crushed coral sand in there. I think it'll give the sort of calcium that shrimp need to help with their shells, and at the same time it sort of breaks up that landscape, and as the grass grows around it should look pretty cool. You want a what? What's this, Harry? This is part of the fish room. What's this?
Oh my God, you put them.
So for those that don't know, I worked in an electronics store down here. It went out of business. I waited till the last minute till Sony could come and collect this, but they couldn't be bothered. So we've given it a good home. But that's, yeah, I know. It was a couple of years ago though. And for collectors of video games out there, you'll know that the actual machine in there would be worth a lot more than a standard PlayStation. So I've been reluctant to do any updates or play with it because Probably a collector's item in itself, let alone the whole stand, but it is a good place for kids to have fun and big kids to have fun.
Is there 2 PS4s in there?
No, that's fake. That's just a light. Alright, so next to the PlayStation we have the saltwater tank. So this is a 90 litre Aqua One mini reef that grows coral and lots of hair algae. I think, I don't know what to do. I'm a big fan of pistol shrimp. You won't see him in here, he always hides. Sometimes I really worry about how he's going, but then he pops out and he's all good. But I think I'm gonna have to get a lawnmower blending. It sounds like the only logical explanation, or maybe a yellow tang or a blue tang, which this tank is too small for, but get a baby one because they'll love to eat that up and then move them on once it's done. I've been removing it myself. I'll continue to remove it myself, doing lots of water changes, trying to keep the nitrates out, but no love. Now, for those that know this channel, I'm pretty new to saltwater. I've always wanted a Royal Dotty back and read that they were pretty docile and cool. These two get along fine. But I had 2 pajama cardinals. I never saw him attack them or her attack them, but I did lose both of them. So I don't know. I'm assuming that that's the culprit. But otherwise, these two are going fine. Really exciting news, which we can't see properly. Maybe we come around here. I don't think I've shown you guys that I got some anemone, but it's actually split into 2. So that's a really good sign that the anemone's multiplying, which is really cool because I'm loving the anemone. There haven't been no annoyance with an anemone yet, but my goni, and I can't even remember what this one is, and you probably will be looking at it going, I don't even know what it is. It's meant to have massive tentacles coming out of it. Been really sad ever since it started doing that. So yeah, this is a real learning tank for the channel and for me to learn together, but I'm not stuffing it up completely. We're learning, and these are the things that probably will turn people off in the early stages of saltwater. So it will be good content for the rest of the channel. How cool is this? That lid is sexy. That's like Aqua Mate's first ever product. I've got a video about that coming out soon. I keep meaning to do it, but because I'm trying to go to a lot of effort to make it funny and more entertaining, it gets harder and harder. But on this, we've got the Kessel, oh god, blank. Yeah, Kessel 160. I said 360 the other day. Kessel 160, tuna blue, amazing light. Can go a lot duller. I usually just have it on low. Can go very bright too. So keeping it on low, hoping that it tries to slow down the growth of that hair algae. Cool thing since I spoke to you all last about this tank is the ATO is up and running. 20 litres of RO water, automatic top-up system. Works really well. And this works really well too. So the getting used to the sump, the protein skimmer is definitely working. It's running wet though. I know it's not meant to be full of water and muck. It's meant to be more the muck coming over from the foam, but yeah, I haven't quite got that balance quite right. You adjust it down there. I'll get that right over the next couple water changes, hopefully. Now over to the baby cribs. Oh, the baby cribs. Where are they? Don't despair. I had to shut down a tank. I've still got them though. You'll see them soon. All right, so this is sort of the main work area for the Aqua Mate channel. This is where I do all my editing, a lot of experiments, trying different products, get sent products from companies, and I seem to try and run them all through here. This is where things get interesting. I'll show you the tanks first and then I'll tell you why I think it's so interesting. those new to the channel, it is not a dirty tank. I have lots of people ask me and go, why is that tank so dirty? It's the tannins from this beautiful piece of driftwood. I love the driftwood. It's going to take forever for those tannins to leach out and it's slowly to get less dirty. It always gives me reflections, this tank, which is really frustrating, but there's lots of muck always on the bottom, but it's all coming from the wood. But you know who likes it? It's not just the viewers that like to say they don't like it or that it looks ugly or whatever, but if we can zoom in here, we'll zoom out, there we go. We have the black bar endlers in here and they're breeding and loving life. So this is the perfect tank for them. It's also full of, which you'll very rarely see, red cherry shrimp too. So it's serving a great purpose. It's growing lots of duckweed, which I feed to some of my other fish. And if we go a bit higher, it gets better. And then we've got the red root floater, and we've also got some pothos. We've got 2 different pothos plants in there. The waterfall here keeps getting clogged, so I'm constantly cleaning that out, and there's usually water running down here, so I'll fix that again. We have the Vallisneria in there, and just a whole bunch of Java moss. Now the light for this tank is the SpaceX Dymax freshwater. Again, everything's hard. Like, this light's really good. It's just, once you go away from it, it's really focusing on looking after that tank. It's doing a fantastic job. I would think the plant growth has probably doubled since I've put this on. There's some really good spectrums. It's got its own timer. It's got its own fan to keep it cool. Love it, love it, love it. But yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. Oh, quickly. Fish fam, hell yeah. Love you guys. That's where I keep all my frozen food for these guys. Now, this tank was just like a bit of a, I don't know, I just sort of put my plants in there. I knew it was well established. I tried to do a scape a long time ago. It looked great. Well, I thought it looked great, but some of the plants didn't make it. But then a whole bunch of other plants did. So I realized this is sort of my beginner tank for growing plants. I've had a lot of issues in the past growing plants. Here, not so much. I've got the Amazon swords, I've got the giant red bacopa, I've got the Cypress halfuri, we've got mini Taiwan moss, got little crypts, assorted crypts. I forget the name of this one. There's a smaller bacopa. They're all growing. They're not doing amazing, but they're definitely healthy and looking good. Had a bit of fun with the dragonstone, and again, using some of the sand to try and create a bit of a path up into a tunnel at the back. This tank is full of green jade shrimp, who, to be completely honest, show no signs of breeding, and I've lost 102. Where's one down there? For a little bit, I think my water parameters are not cut out for green jade shrimp. We'll see. I've only lost 2, so they might be fine, but you can see there that we've got CPDs or Galaxy Rasboras. They're always showing breeding behavior. I think we'll eventually end up with some babies, except they're very quick to eat their own eggs. I do have a hang-on back fry tank, which I think I'll try that method of breeding them real soon again, but I always feel like I stress them out, so let them get really settled. There's one guy who does not look well. He's not looked well since I got him. I thought something was up the whole time, but he's still swimming around, feeding. I don't think it's worms or anything like that. He's just got a sunken stomach. If there's anything anyone can think of that might help with this little guy, I'm more than happy to spend the time and effort to try and help him out, but there he is. He's not looking the best, is he? More than happy to try and fix that, but I don't want to take him out of there when I don't think he's causing any issues to all of his tank mates. Over here are the bamboo sticks. Bamboo sticks? What do you want bamboo sticks for? Bamboo sticks are not good for an aquarium unless you seal them. So let me show you this. Quick, quick. This is the tank that is going to be filled with, hi Sam, how you doing Sam? This is the tank that's going to be filled with the bamboo sticks, and going from a real Asian sort of theme. Can't wait till this Monte Carlo fully carpets. It's doing a very good job. I might have to give it a bit of a boost, but this is the Fluval Edge Bamboo Jungle. So I'll be sealing these bamboo sticks. They'll be going in there once that Monte Carlo has grown through, and I can't wait to see how that tank looks. So over here, this is a scape that was sort of set up at the Underwater Pet Expo. This is the Iwagumi. I showed this one off probably more than any of the others because I'm really happy with it. We've added CO2. So if you missed that video, make sure you check it out. This is a DIY CO2 generator that, I don't know, if you go back to watch any of the other videos, this was not so green, and it's already creeping into the bits that I was concerned wouldn't grow overall because there wasn't enough light. But we've got 16, I've gone blank, 16 Ember Tetras in here, and a bunch of Cerio Stone and just Monte Carlo. So with an Iwagumi, it's sort of a take it easy, don't overdo it, minimalistic sort of aquascape. I really like this. Traditionally in Iwagumi, we usually have a larger rock and then some smaller ones offsetting the larger rocks. So it's not quite a traditional Iwagumi, but we've got most of the elements there. I did paint on the Java moss. I'm going to tell you that I wouldn't recommend it with the normal Java moss because you can see it's sort of straggling everywhere, which, yeah, I don't know, not too happy with that. It causes some issues. As far as it looking good, it just starts to look overgrown rather than well-scaped and manicured. We are running a Marina Slimline S15 hang-on back filter, pretty minimalistic as far as being wide. I spoke to Priscilla MK about how I don't like that this is really low. It comes pretty deep into the tank. Helps keep it quieter, yes, but I like surface agitation, so I always keep the water level just a bit below there. And most people get shocked that I'm just running a Petworks 12 watt, $49 light. This is a Petworks 6 watt, $39 light, and I'll show you a Petworks 3 watt, $29 light that are all growing plants. So you don't have to spend a fortune to grow your plants. This is where a lot of the Aqua Mate stuff happens. What am I watching right now? I don't even know. This could be bad. My neighbor was showing me some videos he made not long ago. This is the last video I made, the before and after mini tank makeover. But I spent a lot of time editing on iMovie here. It's sort of a very beginner basic program, and it's what I would strongly suggest if you wanted to get into making your own YouTube channel about fish or about anything. iMovie is pretty easy to get to know, and I'm not a big Apple fan, and I'm trying to make the move to PC, but it's so easy that I just keep going back to it all the time. Here's a little heads up, considering if you've made it this far in the video, you deserve to see it, but I've actually started writing a screenplay for a documentary for this channel. Actually, I'm doing some research at the moment. There's a story from when I was a lot younger in my local area that I want to rehash. Some place just disappeared and I want to find out what happened to it, and I think I've got a lot of help already jumping on board so we can actually make a real special video, something I'll be really proud of and something I really wanted to work on ever since I sort of made this deal with myself to make this make this YouTube channel. Just a basic mic for live streams. Now we come around here with the Aqua Mate sign covering the Mario Karts. These are real remote control Mario Karts. So we've got Luigi and Donkey Kong. Still boxed. The boxes are getting beat up though. This tank here. Some of you might recognize that guy. He is the father of all of the cribs that I've had in this fish room. We've had multiple fry. The fry are now that big. So it's basically just a Crebensis tank full of all the Crebensis that I've grown out and the original Crebensis. So I don't think I'm going to get too many fry out of it because there's too many fish in there. It's one tricky thing with Crebensis. They're beautiful. They're so fun to watch. They act so different to a lot of other fish, but they become very territorial. So they probably need to be in tanks on their own. It's working really well now, but it wasn't working too well trying to keep them with other fish. But we've got them all and the kids look awesome. They're very good looking female there. Another good looking male there. There's some really strong, good looking Crebensis. Over here, well, check this out actually. This is a 60 by 60 by 35, I think, or 45 cube tank full of plants that were left over from this makeover. But I really want to build a big scape in the middle of a big square cube tank and have that coming up out of the middle and have plants coming out of the middle, have a bit of an island going on and have a whole bunch of small fish and just have like a stand in this corner with just that out there on its own. So that's a dream. That's something I want to do soon. But the big goldfish and the mutt guppies and where is he? Always hiding. My big sailfin pleco. I'm loving the big 4 foot, 55 gallon natural riverscape is sort of what I was going for there. I've just used some of the lid coverings to get that extra height for the light so that we can grow that pothos. That pothos is looking really good coming up against the, yes, but makes it look really natural. Everything's doing really well in here. It's growing well. Check out that flow. That filter is awesome. Can't remember what brand it is because it's secondhand. Every now and then though, if the water gets down to maybe about that far underneath, I just end up with massive overflow because the water just sort of like hits that rock and then bounces back out. Last but not least is this little mini tank. So this sort of sits on a bench here. Normally I have the camera sitting here and I'll do my intros and outros and stuff like that standing in front of there so you can see the background. That's sort of a little behind the scenes of how things are filmed here. We have, I was gonna say just black cherry shrimp in here, but there's a red one right there. There's a little bit of a mix in here. The cherries are going nuts in here. And then we've got 8 Harlequin, all lamb chop rasboras. Keep getting told either way. They could be, it could be either. It's a very natural looking tank. It was made to be like a white cloud riverscape. The white clouds didn't seem to like it. These guys seem to love it. I reckon I've probably got 100 shrimp in here. And then yeah, the 8 rasboras. What's really interesting is this 3-watt light. This is the cheapest light you can get. You can't get any cheaper. And look at the plant growth. It's gone nuts. We have guppy grass, I think it is back there. We have a tall, large Anubias. We have some Nano Anubias. We have banana lilies. We have Sawasatang. We have Java fern, some of the easier ones. Even got a little bit of a Lodia in there, and we've got some Bacopa. It's all growing. It's crazy. This tank, it really does look after itself. So I think it's a really cool little natural nano scape. Probably a bit small for 8 of the Harlequin Rasboras in there, to be honest. I'd like to get more of them and move them out and not have so many in there, but I can tell you the shrimp are loving it. I constantly find buried shrimp or pregnant shrimp in this tank, and yeah, they seem to be doing really well. A little insider. It was Father's Day not long ago, so my family made me this little fish thing, hanger, whatever, and each fish is a voucher for me to go and buy more fish. I haven't done anything with that yet, but it's pretty cool. This is where I keep most of my fish supplies, so feed a lot of extreme, cap scrapers, spirulina crave flake, community crave, love the New Life Spectrum. We're going to be feeding a lot of this soon as well, the Ocean Free. I used to feed the API, but Easy Life at the back. I know it's all very dark. Algae Control. We've got some of the Aussie brands, Amino Blast for the saltwater, and ProBio. Sticky stuff. This is no more Blackbeard. This is my little stash for things to help me with the fish room. So this is the part where I have to make some changes. I really like this scape. Worked really hard on keeping it that way. I like that this grows plants. I like that this grows guppies and everything, but over here, forgive the mess. This is where I have my saltwater and RO water, but this box right here is full of an aquascape from an aquascape award winner from the Underwater Pet Expo. And he's made it specifically for me to suit a tank this size. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to put that here and make this sort of like a scaped bench. I'm really looking forward to setting it up, but probably need your help. What do I do with this? What do I do with that? So let me know. So that's the fish room, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know which tank I'm gonna have to get rid of, or how I'm gonna make this amazing scape that Jag has sent me all the way from Sydney. Can't wait to set it up. I've still got to buy the tank, as I said, but help me out here. What tank can go? I know it's like choosing children. It's not a good idea, but what tank can go? And maybe I could just rejig things. I don't know. That's why I wanted to show you guys this, and also it's been a long time since I've updated you on this fish room. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel and you want to see the progress of all of these tanks and the new ones, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell and the bells and thumbs. Thank you very much. Remember, when you get new fish, always acclimate them first. I'm Josh from Aqua Mate.
What a wonderful world.
That's funny.